Hello, my name is Angela Thomason, and I am going to present my case study, Poor Leadership in California Casualty, for my class Organizational Behavior. My case study today is about California Casualty. It is a company that I worked for 10 years. The company was founded in 1914 by its first leader, Carl G. Brown. The company started as a company that did workers' compensation to the growing California industry. However, by 1917, California Casualty began insuring auto insurance, and in 1954, they started to offer homeowners insurance. Carl G. Brown stepped down, and his son, Carl G. Brown Jr., became CEO of the company beginning in 1957. And it was under Carl G. Brown Jr. that the mission statement was created. And that mission statement is: our mission is to provide trusted, personalized auto and home insurance protection exclusively for educators, law enforcement, nurses, and firefighters, those who protect, strengthen, and enhance the quality of life in American communities. And to this day, that remains their mission statement. California Casualty has always only insured educators, firefighters, police officers, and nurses. They did not insure the public. They received their first affinity in 1951 with the California Teachers Association, otherwise known as the CTA. And we were endorsed to provide auto and home insurance to its members. To this day, California Casualty takes pride in their CTA affinity, and to this day, CTA members make up the majority of the customers for the company. When Carl G. Brown Jr. Retired in 1978, his son Tom Brown took over the company, and it was under Tom's leadership that the National Education Association was endorsed, otherwise known as the NEA. So the biggest book of business for California Casualty has been educators, either through the CTA or the NEA. In 2007, the last of the Brown family to become CEO was Bo Brown, which was Tom Brown's son. And I personally became an employee under Bo Brown's leadership. So I worked for California Casualty from 2012 to 2022. My exit from the company was due to the poor leadership within the company. I started with the company when it was at its best with strong leadership. My interview process alone took 3 weeks. I interviewed with several different managers. What intrigued me about the company was the low turnover. They did not have employees really with less than 15 years of service with the company. And that just spoke volumes to me. People don't want to leave this company, and it has to be because of the good leadership. After 3 weeks, I was hired, and my training class was 6 weeks long. And after that 6 weeks was up, I was put on the floor to start taking calls. But even then, leadership management knew that fresh out of training, we might not be fully prepared to take phone calls. So management sat with us every single day for our entire shift to answer questions and to listen to how we took calls and to really give you more of that one-on-one training, like a good leader should. My personal manager, Cheryl O'Connor, she actually worked for the company long before Bo Brown, but under Self-Contagion, there's an article written by, Zach Zinger and Joseph Folkman about self-contagion. And essentially, if your friends are smokers, you're likely to become a smoker. If your friends are getting divorced, you're most likely to get divorced. And under Self-Contagion in this article, if you work for a good leader, you're likely to become a good leader. Under Bo Brown, Cheryl O'Connor was a good leader. She was personable. She treated us like we were family. She gave us gifts for holidays. Very similar to Bo Brown's leadership. Whenever he would come to the office to, check on the company, meet with the management there, he always made an effort to walk around to everybody's desk, say hi, ask them not personal questions, but get more personable with their staff. Under Bo Brown, employees did not feel like a number. We felt valued. We felt heard. So Bo Brown was a great leader. However, in 2018, for reasons unknown, Bo Brown stepped down as CEO. He did become chairman of the board. However, he was no longer CEO, and he was replaced by Joe Volpone. And almost immediately, everything shifted within the company. First and foremost, employees lost their morale. They went from feeling valued to just feeling like a number. Joe was more numbers focused than he was not necessarily family focused, but more personable focused. And if you don't treat your employees well, that morale is going to go down, customer service is going to go down, and that's exactly what happened under Joe. The numbers did not increase with Joe's leadership. He did not communicate effectively with his employees, with the underwriting team. We would be notified of company changes as far as the underwriting guidelines, just different guidelines as far as like what type of new business we will and will not accept. And then his communication would change up like 2 weeks later and say, okay, I thought about it, but that's actually not going to be what's best for the company. We're going to go ahead and switch it to this. So the communication itself amongst the leadership and their employees really, really lacked. Joe was president or CEO, for about 2 years, and he was replaced by Bob Nicolay and then Jonathan Atkinson. So within 6 years, we've had 3 different CEOs, all of which the numbers fell. California Casualty was no longer profitable. We were seeing more red than we were green. And we know this because Bo Brown finally stepped back up and took on his role of as CEO in 2022. And under Bo Brown, he did have good communication. So he did tell his employees, I'm back, the numbers are red, we need them more green. Part of that was going from insuring 47 states to just 7 states. So they cut their book of business more than half. And the reason given was that the reason given for that change was that the states that we pulled out of, we were paying out more in claims than we were receiving premium. So we were seeing red. States like Louisiana, for example, we were given that states of Louisiana had a high poverty rate. And because of that, they got very creative with creating their own, with coming up with false claims, causing us to have to pay out, therefore having a negative income from that. That was not discovered until Bo Brown came into office, back into as CEO. The prior 3 CEOs, as far as we know, and the way that Bo made it sound, they did not recognize that. They just were there for the numbers. It was just premium. Rates increased drastically under the 3 CEOs before Bo. It was just not a good company. The leadership was lacking tremendously. Some of the things that changed within California Casualty that also impacted the customers was we got rid of incentives like accident forgiveness. Even for our long-term customers, not only did we have a low turnover for employees, we had a low turnover for customers as well. We had customers, a majority, who had been insured with California Casualty for 20 plus years. And now all of a sudden, if they get into an accident, those 20 plus years meant nothing to the company. It was a one and done situation. Whenever employees questioned the changes and said, hey, this is not in our customer's best interest, us employees, we were basically just told, these are the rules, follow them, with hardly any explanation. So again, that communication piece with leadership really, really lacked. Customer policies are being canceled over new rules that had never been applied before. Branches are being closed here in the Phoenix location. There is one Arizona location here. They are closing down the office and they are sending all of their employees home. As of March, they've closed down the office and they've sent all of their employees home to work from home, which is very odd considering during COVID they were highly against working from home. They felt that productivity would slack by working from home. And in fact, a year after COVID started, they demanded that everybody return back to the office. There is an article, 10 Reasons Leadership is Important in the Workplace. And it says leaders are to provide direction and vision, motivate and inspire others, and help create an environment conducive to success by promoting communication and collaboration among team members. So essentially, a strong leader creates a capable, strong organization with a positive, affirming environment for their employees. On the other hand, weak leadership creates weak organization prone to failure, and weak leadership can also create a negative environment for their employees, causing high turnover and lack of motivation to do their job. In this article, there are 10 reasons why leadership is important in the workplace, and that is strong leadership improves communication, which California Casualty lacked, creates a better work environment, improves productivity, increases efficiency, decreases mistakes, motivates employees, sets good examples for others, inspires hard work, creating a strong vision and direction for the future, and helps employees stay on task, many of which the leadership of California Casualty did not have. Like I had mentioned, they were focused more on the numbers than they were on what's best for the company. It was just all numbers motivated. So overall, California Casualty, it sounds like and looks like they are about to shut down their business. They've cut their they've cut the states that they insure in. They're sending their employees home. They did massive layoffs, and that's actually where my exit from California Casualty began. They laid off my manager, Cheryl O'Connor, who'd been with the company for more than 25 years. And at that point, I decided to resign. Granted, I only worked for them part-time because I was teaching full-time. But when they laid her off within a week, I went into the office and resigned. California Casualty, as of this day, the future's uncertain. They may end up closing. Several of my old coworkers from the company are resigning and seeking employment elsewhere because they're just not comfortable with how their future in the company looks.